What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I hope you're all doing well. So this is what you need to know. Layoffs. It's all starting. Now look, I'm not the bearer of bad news. I'm just telling you what's going on. If you want me to say, yeah, Bitcoin to the moon, and the market's going to keep moving up, when everything starts crumbling, you'll come back to me and say, yeah, but Tino, you said. That's not what I'm here for. My goal is to get you aware of the human nature and behavior of people where they're putting the money. As it stands, we're in a market downturn. Cool. Word on the street is recession is looking promising. If not, we're already there. The economy needs to start slowing down for the Fed to really get towards its 2% inflation target. Key data tomorrow at 1:30 GMT is going to suggest whether or not the Fed's approach to increasing interest rates and staying hawkish is taking an effect. Any reading above 6.5%, the markets will go into turmoil. Mr. Michael Burry even said it. He's expecting a bit of an inflation spike. That could be the case. A few days later, another article is released saying that we could be in for a surprise inflation data reading. What do you mean by surprise? Is it going to come down? Is it going to go up? Well, look, oil has been dropping and it's been stabilizing in around the 75, 73 zone. But it's the layoffs that have got my attention because this is what starts to happen when the economy starts to slow down. If less people are in work, that means less people are spending. Naturally, that's going to increase the unemployment claims. Tomorrow, we have the unemployment claims data coming out. Now, if that data suggests that less people are still claiming benefit, it's solidifying the Fed's approach to increasing interest rates. That's the situation we're in. There's chaos happening across the world right now. You've got 14,000 flights that have no idea where they're going because the software that authorizes these flights around the US is down. Should be up right now, given that it's 9 a.m. very soon. That's the time they projected. But what's going to happen after that? You've got 14,000 flights that need to go up. How many delays are going to start happening? Similar to what's going on in the UK, but in the UK, it's forced. People are going on strike. And we're going to be going into the charts very shortly, just so that I can help you align yourself with how to exploit the news that is being released. Because the key thing about the news is this. It comes out, people react. We then look at the charts to see that reaction. You have to stick with the bigger picture. Inflation is high. Employment is high. Well, we can't get inflation down if employment is high because the more people that are in work, it means more people are going to be spending money. I will continue to regurgitate this information to you till it's in your mind so that when you get ready to take a trade, you've got in the back of your mind that when you start taking longs, and as much as Bitcoin is taking out that key 17,500 zone, happy days, the fast move is the false move. That, in my experience, works. Let's get to the charts and break it all down. In front of you, we have Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin is doing a good job of coming back up into a vector candle zone. As you can see, there's a big red vector candle right here. Now, this is a pool or liquidity zone that the market maker had forced traders to step into to go short. And he was doing that by taking out the liquidation points for the traders of the longs right here. Now, you can see the same guys that went short on this move to the downside are paying the price now. Why? Because Bitcoin's moving back up and eating that liquidity. Go over to the high block and you'll see bright as day. Look at this. Bitcoin has been going and attacking those liquidations. 3.3 billion, 2.2 billion. And then we're going up towards this point. They narrowly missed this 3.693 billion. And higher concentrations over here at 4.62 billion. These are short liquidations. Now, Bitcoin right now doesn't seem to be going anywhere near towards that 17,550 zone. We go over to the chart to suggest, is it possible that Bitcoin could continue up? Well, if there's $4.6 billion worth of short liquidations right here, and we've got key data coming out tomorrow, why would we not assume that Bitcoin could try and take that zone? How much of a move would it take for Bitcoin to go from its current price point all the way up to that point? That would be roughly a $149 move. It's nothing in Bitcoin. But look at why. What's getting my attention is the fact that they're not going for it. That's the key thing. Now listen, part of the hybrid system is understanding how the candlesticks develop. Now, if you haven't done so already, get yourself over to the Traders Reality website, go to the Start Here tab and follow the steps to get the indicator. It's free of charge. Get to the Discord, join the community over there, and you've got add-ons as well that you can add to the chart. It's all through TradingView. You can check out Bookmap, takes you to their website, and that is a premium service. But the vector candles and all the indicators we use on this platform are free of charge. Once you've done that, check out the Patreon where you can learn more about the hybrid system and how to project in your own way. Now, if we look at the chart right here, a practice that I do tell the patrons is to never dismiss the vector candles that have presented themselves. So we like to mark off vector zones right here. We like to mark off another vector zone right here. Upon closer inspection, you can see that they haven't come back to either of these points. We're now looking at the topside behavior of Bitcoin, and we're not seeing any vector candles, and volume is kind of disappearing across the board. If we roll over to Exo charts, you can see at the bottom that the delta is coming up and increasing as it's moving higher. We haven't seen yet the negative delta. Now, delta is the buys and sells, the net of buys and sells. So who's doing more? If we see the delta coming in positive, as you can see at the bottom here, it says 49, 30%, and 25%. That is suggesting to me that buyers are stepping in. But we know how Mr. Market Maker operates. He doesn't buy when price is at the highest point. That's what retail does. He buys at the lowest point. So is this Mr. Market Maker setting a trap? Is he setting it up? Is this whole move in Bitcoin designed to come back down? Will the CPI data suggest that inflation is going up or if it's going down? The only way that we can verify that, once the news comes out, you have to be mindful of where Bitcoin will be from now until the news. Because quite frankly, they're keeping price sideways. Have a look at Euro. Euro trading sideways. Have a look at the dollar itself. Go down to the dominance of the dollar, trading sideways. Now, we've got imbalances in the dollar that do need to be realized at some point. The dollar is at its lowest in 7 months. Is this going to be a trigger point for the guys who like to take the net dollar longs? Morgan Stanley said it. They're expecting a 22% drop in the near future. So if you're going to get invested in the dollar, principally, you'd want dollar to be cheaper so that when it does start to go back up, you're getting more value for your money when you do decide to play it and stay in cash. If you are new to the hybrid system, the first thing that I like to do when I come to the charts is I have to lay off where my vectors are. I can see a vector zone there. I can see a vector zone there. But maybe, just maybe, what if Bitcoin continues to move higher? Well, until they breach this 50 EMA on the 1 hour time frame, I have no reason to believe Bitcoin's going to go lower. So I'm waiting for a reaction. And what better reaction are we going to get in tomorrow's CPI data? Usually when you see news announcements come into play, guys, price goes up, price goes down, price goes up. They did it last week. Look at this on the NASDAQ. Let me bring it over to you. Where's the NASDAQ? I don't believe this. NASDAQ, there it is. So look what happened here. The news came out, stop hunt rise, they dropped it back down again, and then they instantly reversed it. This is why I encourage you all to always wait until 3 p.m. 3 p.m. GMT, which is 10 a.m. US. All right? 3 p.m. That's when the move happens because they would have initiated the trap. This is what you call the Brinks box play. Now, the Brinks box, for anybody new to the channel, the Brinks box, or the US Brinks, is the first hour and a half of trading in the US markets. And what happens is price goes up and down inside this zone to find its feet, hit the orders that have been filled in the pre-market, absorb any news that has come out, and then initiate the move to the upside or to the downside. Usually when you see price coming from a move to the downside, that's where you're going to see a reversal. That's why the New York session is infamous for its reversals. That's why 3 p.m. is important. Because at 3 p.m., that's where the reversal can be initiated. Go back to this point, that's where the reversal happened. They were coming from a move to the downside. The vector candle principle was there. They left the gap right there. People were short inside of this zone. Happy days. They came back to it. They set it up in the New York session prior, in the UK session there. And then, in the Thursday session previously in the New York markets. And then they came back again in the New York market to bring it back up. This is what you're looking for with assets across the board. Look, you've got euro. Let's go over to the euro. Euro itself, massive imbalance happening right there. Recession talks, and it's all over the place. Increases in interest rates. Things are moving up. Now, don't get it twisted. I do say that the market likes to price in the future now. So is this move to the upside for the euro, the marketplace just coming to terms with that, inflation is starting to go down? Maybe. Look at gold. Gold normally acts as a safe haven for investors, and it's doing exactly the same thing. But what you'll find is assets against the US dollar are all up. So what you really need to be paying attention to is whether or not Dixie has the ability to go lower. It's currently at 50 EMA, but key news announcements are going to suggest to us if that's going to continue even lower to come back into previous vector candles in the chart, which would reside at the 102.57 mark right there. Okay? So when you're navigating the marketplace, the first thing you've got to do is establish if investors are looking to accumulate risk. And you go to the dollar dominance chart. As it stands, it's going down and it's been trading lower for the past 7 months. So would we be in agreement that the markets are favoring risk on assets? Tomorrow's data will change that narrative. Once that narrative is established and the inflation data comes in and says, yes, it's going up or it's going down, you will have, in principle, the direction of volatility. So if you do see the dollar dominance start rising back up after the data suggests that inflation is still a problem, you would then naturally anticipate the dollar dominance to go up, to come down, to continue and make its way back up into the chart and recover the previous vector zones. Likewise, you will then see euro going back into the previous vector candle regions, and they would end up probably starting this move to the downside. Okay? That's what you're looking for. Come away and shy away from the idea of where you think Bitcoin needs to go. You need to take into consideration what's going to keep moving Bitcoin up. Look at USDT. USDT is a psychological chart to me. It tells me when investors pick up USDT and when they like to pick up crypto. All right? Right now, they are buying crypto. Look at the chart. Green vector candle has been fully finalized, and it happens to be this point that it's stabilizing at. The next point of interest where we could psychologically assume investors would start picking up crypto would be down here. So if the USDT coin itself goes down to 7.68%, we would assume that Bitcoin's move to the upside will continue. But just look at the actual chart itself. Every time they pick up crypto, they give it back. Look at this. USDT goes up, consolidates, and then it comes back down again. So they put their money into USDT. Now we've got Bitcoin at a cheap price. It brings it back down again because they picked up crypto. So that suggests to me that they could start taking some profit soon. What better time to do it? CPI data. That's how you can navigate volatility. But do not be in trades beforehand because you'll be thrown about. No different to what happened to the NASDAQ on that Friday when they had the news announcements come out right there in that candle, so the 1 hour time frame, okay? So ladies and gentlemen, that pretty much gives you the breakdown of what to expect going into tomorrow. Remember, CPI data is going to keep price floating before it comes out. Keep it floating. Keep the optimism in the marketplace. Yeah, it's going up. It's going up. Everyone's going all in. What better time to trap traders? Forgive me if I am not saying what you want to hear, but the market will always do the opposite of what you're expecting, okay? Whether that is Bitcoin's going to continue high, because you can see the NASDAQ is crossing over a key point in the chart. But investors seem to be dismissing the idea that inflation is still high. And it's only a matter of time before they get stung. So if you haven't done so already, be sure to like and subscribe. Check out the Traders Reality website if you haven't done so to get the indicators. But more importantly, please trade safely, all right? There's no point in being in the market to only give your gains back. If you've made move on this move to the upside, happy days. Celebrate it. Don't be greedy. Because the longer you feel compelled to hold on to a winning trade, you are increasing the chances of it losing. Don't be that guy. Mad love and respect, ladies and gentlemen. Take care of yourselves. Peace.